Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So in recent weeks, a kind of hot topic of discussion has been combo sets, mixing irons, getting the most out of certain parts of the iron set. And really the discussion is there truly a need for a set to be from one brand? Maybe you mix brands.
It wasn't that long ago that you just had 8 irons. First of all, 8 irons was the thing.
Yeah.
7's more common now, or 6,
True.
I guess.
Yeah.
It used to be you got 8 blades or 8 cavities or 8 game improvement irons. I think people got used to the fact that a combo set from the same company, like we have from Callaway here, was a good idea a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And we've talked about, could it even come from a different brand? So we've been super fortunate recently, and Callaway, I have to shout out, Wednesday night, I sent a little email to Dave at Callaway and said, we'd really like to test these. Here's the specs we'd like to test them. They showed up about 2 hours ago on Mondays. What the net result is we have 2 sets of irons for each of us, spec'd exactly the way you and I play them, for lies, lofts, shafts, grips, everything. Both sets of irons that Callaway's released, the Apex MB and the X-Forge CB, comboed together.
Yeah, and that in itself is next level service and sort of, for us to test at the kind of highest degree of detail and performance, we have to do it with components we're familiar with, grip and shaft. And
we've sort of since sub 70, I would say, that video and Haywood, and there's probably been one that I'm missing, unfortunately, but I'm sure there was another one. You've said that, like the difference in how you can do the club justice when it's literally built to your exact spec. Yeah. Plus we can test pitching wedge all the way down to 4-iron. We're gonna do a way better job in reviews when we have full sets.
Yeah. So we opened the box. It was like Christmas morning when it came in. I said to you, it will never get old for me when this happens.
Yeah.
When you kind of don't quite know what I had no idea that these were even coming.
That's the best part about it. I ordered them for you.
So you were like, there's something coming and I really think you'll like them. And, even just to see them as we unboxed them and see that it was a combo set. So what was your initial impression when you first saw these in the flesh? And
so you're gonna get googly eyes for the MB. It's kind of hard not to. It is, like, it looks a lot better in person even than I thought. I thought the design looked good in pictures, but it's very, very sharp. With
the lovely satin chrome, which I know is a big sort of thing you enjoy.
There's no secret. I'm a broken record with it, but I love it.
It's a big deal in the Blois household, the satin finish. But
it is.
When I saw that, I was wowed by how good that looked.
It's extremely nice. And then you set the blades down. So we have pitching wedge to 8-iron in both sets that are blades. Yeah. It is as good from address as it gets, really, for me. I think it's a very modern looking blade. Would you agree with that? Kind of not much offset.
Oh man, we done the Haywood iron last week. Yeah. And I really liked the feel of those, and they performed really well. But like I said in the video, I just didn't like that shaping of the pitching wedge.
It's a vintage
just
shaping,
not
right?
for me.
And this is much more modern.
If I could draw up a blade wedge, and I'm very particular about short irons, they need to look right for me to kind of really put that down and let it frame the ball nicely. This is perfect for me.
I totally agree. It's easily one of the best looking short irons from address, and honestly, even from back profile, one of the best I've seen.
Gorgeous.
It is extremely nice.
Absolutely gorgeous. So, like you say, we've transitioned from the MB into the CB, the X-Forge CB. Yep. 8 to 7. So the 7 is our first CB.
7 is the first one down.
And I get that question a lot, Matthew, with when should I transition? At what point should we look at making the move from blade into cavity, from sort of playability into help?
Okay.
I think 7-iron has become such a distance-orientated club. You hit your 7-iron 185 yards.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the 6-iron used to be, so it makes sense to transition. My thought was it made sense to transition there instead of having a blade 7-iron. Yeah. At first, it was mostly just selfishly thinking, I don't want to hit a blade 7-iron on camera. I'm going to look like an idiot. But I also think the yardage is a big factor. 185 yards away, you want a bit of forgiveness, I would think.
You're going to kick us off with some pitching wedges from about 140.
Perfect.
And then we'll kind of go back and forward, and we'll share our thoughts, and we'll see some different flights. And
perfect.
We'll see how they are as a combo set for us.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. Lovely little approach.
Oh.
Okay, little 8-foot 10-inch downhiller. Lovely.
So it is, for the most part, a really pure blade, but then someone will look at this screw, which actually does come out because I did it with the wrench.
Yeah.
What is that for?
So this is for sort of precision weighting, right? We always talk about CG and adjusting CGs and making little subtle adjustments. So if you're somebody who likes an iron at a specific head weight, maybe there's a balance that you're looking to achieve. Maybe you want to go a little bit shorter in the shaft length, and you want to achieve a higher swing weight.
Yeah.
You can centralize that swing weight screw, take that out, go with the heavier weight.
Very cool.
And you can replace that. So you always keep the mass behind the strike.
And dare I say it, does lead tape become a little bit irrelevant when you have this option? If you could order or send them back to Callaway or however you do it and get the different screw put in if I change grips or something?
And again, just another way of dialing in a player's preference. It's
very nice.
I always liken it to, everyone knows I'm a tea drinker.
Yes.
Right? And I'm like, how do you know how you like your tea? Okay. Well, you don't until you try it.
Yeah, true.
Right? How do you know if you like milk? You got to try it. So how does someone know if they like heavier heads or lighter heads? So in the fit, if we establish that this is a good one for you, Matty, the last thing I'm going to do with you is put all 3 screws in and get some feedback. See how you react to it. Do you feel that weight? Does putting the mass behind the strike change the ball speed for you? Does it change the launch and spin? This is a new dimension that this adds to the fit.
I was just going to say that. Like, can you picture having a few of these screws in the drawer for this ironing going?
We would 100% in every one of our kits.
That's great.
For every amount of adjustability that head offers, we have an option to test that. So somebody came into TXG to try that. We will have the light, the medium, and the heavy screw just to kind of fine tune their iron even more.
Maybe that's something we can test in another video. We'll do a few swing weights.
See
that's
how it
awesome.
changes it.
That's the easiest way to change a swing weight in an iron I've ever seen, right? Least obtrusive.
It has been done before. TaylorMade had an MB, so they actually had an MB and MC. It was called the Tour Preferred MC, but it's been a while since we've seen it in other clubs.
No, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Below the pin that time. Yeah, that's nice.
He's going to scare the hole with one of these.
Get up there. That's a bit short.
Oh, smashing.
I approve. Yeah, I mean, sample size of 3, but based on the fact that they're already spec'd like mine, I could take the pitching wedge 9/8 to the course and play with my T100s with them easily.
Yeah.
Don't see any reason why not.
This is where we test the compatibility of the 2 sets, how they will be as a combination. So we're going to go 8 iron at your number, which is very comfortable at 170. Like you said, 175 is your number, but you like to play a half club short just for accuracy.
Control, right? Yeah.
I mean, even seeing that in the wedge there, I was just looking at your numbers on the wedge, and your wedge number is normally like 145.
Yes.
But that came out to 139, and your average proximity was 8 feet. I love that.
It's great. I think it launches a bit lower than mine and
Yeah.
spins a bit more, which is a nice looking flight too.
Okay, let's see some 8s. Oh, scripted it lovely. Look at that.
Thought it would draw back.
Look at that.
It's really nice. I actually worried that I pulled that a bit, and it's gone the exact yardage.
We've talked about this. If anyone wants to go back and hear us talking about when and why someone would use a blade,
Yes.
that's another example of it, right? So you've kind of hit 2 shots. You worried that they were quite different. Well, you worried that you pulled one. The other one was obviously really good. The precision in the ball speed was immaculate.
Wow.
As were the other numbers around it, and you've basically got an exact same distance. Right, let's hit some 7s, Matthew. 182, bang on your number.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So this is our first club we've transitioned into the CB. It is definitely a bigger profile iron.
Yeah.
I think you'll notice that it's a more forgiving looking address profile. It's a bit bigger overall.
Yeah.
And the main thing I think people notice is it's taller in the heel.
In the heel.
The head is just taller in this section here.
Yeah.
So I think there's no question the blade is probably one of the purest ones we've seen. These are going to look a little bit more friendly. But I think if you're comboing a set, you said it to me off camera, you're like, well, it should look a bit more friendly.
Yeah.
Or why are you even comboing them, right?
You want to change and you want to transition, and offset will allow you to launch it a little bit higher, and it will allow you a little bit more forgiveness. And the cavity size on this, I see a few different irons, in this one. I see an MP59 in there. I see a original TaylorMade P770 in there.
Yes.
I see both of those irons. I actually see the shaping of last year's X-Forged in there as well, with the squareness and how high that heel is and how square the blade is. So
good point.
I can see a few different irons inside this one.
Absolutely. Nice. No, I think it makes a pretty good combo. So I think people just have to be aware. If you're comboing stuff, you're not going to go 8 to 7 without noticing from a dress. There's going to be a little adjustment.
All right.
Okay.
Let's take a little look. Is it 182? And if anyone wants to see whether this is heavily edited or is just working out exactly
this
as
one
it
had
should,
no editing so far.
have a little look at that shot counter, because it's moving at a 1 tick at a time rate right now. So these shots are exactly as intended.
Yeah.
And the other part is as well, this is what happens when companies send us specs
100%.
exactly as we need them to be for testing.
There's no adjustment. People often ask, like, how many shots do you hit with each club? Is there an adjustment period? I always say, yeah, for sure. Often when we're switching clubs, or if Ian goes and does the heads, one, there's time between, and two, you have to get adjusted to it. But this to me, I know it's virtual, but I feel like I'm playing golf and hitting shots in the course. It's kind of one shot at a time, and it's just flying really nice.
100%.
It's working out nice.
181, 4 feet 9 from the hole. I mean, your average was 8 feet with a wedge, 8 feet with a 8 iron. You've hit that one into 5 feet, just under 5 feet. Numbers are just ideal. Yeah. Absolutely ideal. So comboing up really nicely right now.
Absolutely no concerns at all. Yeah.
Now we want to see you miss hit one. So let's hit a few and see when that kind of shows up. I want to see what it does.
See if we can still carry the water with a clunky one. Yeah.
See what the change is.
It's not that one.
Okay, so that was well hit. And actually the percentage play on this hole.
So you look at that one, I know it's not far long. I felt like that was the swing I pulled a bit with the 8 iron. It went the exact same distance.
Yeah.
That one I pulled a little bit, and that felt like the spin just dropped a shade.
It did, exactly. So the ball speed was really good. Launch angle was really good. You dropped 500 RPMs.
So that's basically blade versus, we could make a blade versus cavity video that's those 4 shots.
That's right. In cavity, in the cavity, in the sense that, okay, the ball has went more right, the face has gotten close to the path, the dynamic loft will have came down a little bit, but you've not all of a sudden seen a massive spike in ball speed.
No.
So that speaks really nicely to the appropriate, this being a head that you would combo up.
Gotcha.
You might see a head that's a little bit faster. That on that head, when you shut the loft down, you get a little bit more ball speed. You drop the spin, retain the launch. That one might have picked up 9 or 10 yards more.
That's a really good point. So it is forgiving in the sense that mishit forgiveness is helped by the cavity, but we're not all of a sudden adding distance control issues away from the blade.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Cat's fat. Got away with it.
So so you lost the speed, but lost the spin, and it made up for it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's really nice, man.
Yeah, now you're hitting that lovely.
I have no issue playing with them. When I first saw the address of them, I kind of thought, okay, they do have a little more offset than maybe I would like, but functionally, there is literally no reason why I wouldn't use them. Yeah, they feel great, and the flight is really nice.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So we have the 4 iron.
It's not really a green design for a 4 iron.
It is not, no.
It's a small target, but you've got, the caddy's telling you 202 to cover the water.
Gotcha.
Front edge is 210. So you've got plenty in the locker with this one.
And we've got some forgiveness. The CB head is, I think as a 4 iron, it's pretty friendly. It actually doesn't look crazy different than my T100 4 iron.
Right.
The mid irons look bigger, but the long iron and the 5, they're a little more compact, but not in such a way that they look like blades, but they're just a little bit less I think you'll need to, the green is so small. We'll hopefully get this to spin up a bit and land soft.
Green's tiny. We're going to be looking at ball speeds around 140, launch around 12, 13, spin rate in the low 4s.
Okay.
That's the concoction. Striped it, folks. Stay right it. For the Dubai Desert Classic. Oh! Nearly whipped it straight into the stick. All right, 142, 14, and 4,000 spin.
Close.
Beautiful. 222 carry. One of the best sets of irons I've ever seen in terms of being able to predict how far the ball is going to go.
That's a great point. You've been within the yard 4 times.
And there's been very, very little kind of guesswork. It's all just been based on what it should do. It's performing as intended. I mean, you know, as a fitter, it makes my job awfully easy when you're hitting it as nicely as you are, because we can go, okay, well, this is going to do this, this, and this.
I know.
It's very easy to predict it.
100%. I also really feel already like we're doing clubs more justice in this format. The custom fit full set. It just feels right away like I'm not having to say, well, if that was to my spec, like these are just precisely the way we
on the
played
money, aren't they? That was phenomenal.
You're not going to make me hit it again, are you?
I mean, you can if you want to. I don't think you need to. I think that was perfect.
I think we're good. Yeah.
That was perfect. Yeah, a really nice set. They were not designed to be comboed. They're not part of a family. The Apex MB,
and X4s are different.
X4 CB. We just thought that set had all the attributes of 2 sets that could combo really nice.
100%.
And we've seen that. You know, so visually, some people might look at them and go, yeah, it's not exactly what I want to see from a visual, but performance, it's going to perform exactly like that.
I could easily sit and think about playing them just because they've worked out so perfect, even though that transition may not be precisely. And I do think maybe there's a set of cavity style irons coming that would match the blades better. Who knows?
For me, I would be considering the new UT.
I think that's a great point.
It's a 4-iron.
I think a set that would fit a lot of people, maybe not blades in the short irons if it doesn't suit you, but those UTs in the 4-5, even 6 for some people, and the CBs and the rest of the set would be a great set.
Well worth looking at.
Yeah, I think we really wanted to review the blades.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to review them in a way that seemed relevant, and I think we've ended up with a set that a lot of people might enjoy.
I think so as well.
But you'll see these at least probably 1 or 2 more times. I think we're going to play around in golf in the sim too.
We definitely are going to each put these, we have a set each, and Matty kindly built a set out to my specs, which is
so I went to a lot of trouble, as you can see.
That is, I mean, it's phenomenal. We just love that. So we're going to play around each with those in the bag, our regular woods, but we're going to each have a set of the combo MBs and CBs.
That's going to be a blast.
Love it.
All right.
Excellent. Okay, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, a little bit different format, but a new topic and something I think you're going to hear a lot about from guys like ourselves, fitting companies. Just the messaging I think is right to think about. You know, why think of 7 irons as, here, take these. You know, we don't do that. We don't do that with the hybrids. We don't do that with the fairway woods. You can end up with 2 different fairway woods. We should be looking at the irons that way as well. So there's something to be learned in here, and maybe as we come to the off season, something to think about to make your bag even better for 2021. Take care, guys. We'll see you again soon.